Okay, so I'm coming back up here and just having a feel. Oh, I can feel the difference so much. When I put my thumb into here, this is feeling quite soft now and quite open, and I put my thumb into here and it's tight. You know, I really got something to compare to now. So I'm going to get you to take a deep breath in, Dave. I'll explain how to do this later. And again. And throughout the treatment, so after I do this arm, I can do that. After I did this arm, I'll get more. And after I do his legs, I'll get more. And that's the difference between, you know, that's why you'll get, if you do this, you'll get way deeper releases than even a chiropractor. Even though it's simpler techniques that I use, you'll get, because you're releasing the energy blockages and the muscles.
I've been to chiropractors. It lasts about 2 days.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, that's because they're not actually getting the source of it out.
Yeah,
work together. And I'm not disparaging what chiropractors do, because I think it's good, and I see one sometimes, but I think this is, you know, when you've got a skilled person, this can be way better. And I'd love to learn certain chiropractic techniques, no doubt about it, but I think the techniques are different than the whole body experience. Okay, so now I'm coming back in and just, again, trying to get rid of, you know, another layer. And even in his face, I can feel the difference between here, on this side, and on this side. Okay? And the thing is, you actually, you know, people worry, oh, I only did his arm. No, you did his arm. You got to think that. And he'll know it because he'll be comparing. He'll be like, fuck, this arm feels so good. And his other arm, you know, so will he want to come back? Absolutely, because he'll want his other arm. He's got now something to compare to. What is loose?
This for one thing.
Yeah. So don't worry about the fact that, ooh, I didn't do everywhere. And, you know, don't put such pressure on yourself.
David bowling 4 wickets and over.
What's that?
He'll be bowling 4 wickets and over.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's a cricket thing, isn't it? Yeah. So again, just coming into those spots. Well, yeah, like I was saying with any sports, you know, this arm is going to be amazing now. It's not perfect, but it's going to, compared to what he's used to. See, he's used to having a tight arm. And he's also got 3 other limbs to compare it to. So he'll want to come back as soon as possible once any tiredness is gone, you know, because he could feel tired, especially with toxins. He could feel a bit introverted. You need to allow that time.
Cricket season's just finished. Maybe I'll do like a bowling arm recovery package in September.
Well, you think about any again, intelligent sports person is going to want to be loose because they're going to perform better and they're going to injure themselves less. Because when you have, the more tightness you have in a limb that you're using, the more likely you are to injure it, right? Because the flexibility is not there in the joints, the stiffness, you know, the whole thing. Now let's come back to his jaw that was tight. Get you to open your jaw. And it's, yeah, incomparably, it's not, again, 100%. But immediately I can feel how tight this one is. It's just like, I can hardly touch it without probably hitting his 9s and 10s. Whereas this one, I can now start to kind of feel like I could make some inroads without it feeling like it's completely jammed. Still tight, but I can work on it. The other one, I couldn't even, I just wouldn't want to. I would feel like I'd be doing bad pain.
It's learning the difference between good pain and bad pain.
Yeah, and so I'm just holding a medium pressure, and I'm actually now what I'm doing is projecting my energy. Like I said to you guys, the middle of your hand is like supported, but this is like a laser beam, and this is what I'm going to use into that tight spot on his jaw now, just to try and let it go a bit more. So I'm going to focus my life energy into that finger and just go right into his jaw with it, like a laser to break up that tension.
So are you kind of visualizing, well, you kind of, oh, okay.
It's not it's awareness.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it's not like an
Yeah.
imagination thing.
Yeah.
It's just being aware of my own life energy and using that in like a similar thing to a laser, but of course it's different. And that's the spot that's really holding on. But not too, I'm not going in too hard. I just want to keep a bit of awareness and then roll it. And I'm picking up some, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm coming right up here.
You don't have that awareness straight away.
Yeah.
Energy follows thought. So if you have the imagination of doing that,
Yeah.
you're starting to move that energy towards that, and then you build up with that.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Yeah, thank
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
Where now I
But
just
it's
kind
real.
of feel I'm not really channeling anything that
But
way.
you can visualize.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then over time.
And as it's letting go now, which is great, and then I can do more circular movements and then come in. And he's great with his breath again. And I'm also going to come in and just have a feel around the bands as they're coming up into his neck and maybe go a little bit of depth into them. But not too hard, because you never want to overwork this area. Again, just whatever percent I've got out of his fingers and his arms. You know, he's still got stuff going on in here, but it's a significant improvement, is what I can come in and get out of these areas. I'm going to come right into there. And so this is going to help with any kind of like jaw clenching that people get, you know, where people get the grinding of the teeth at night and subconscious shit, yep, stuff, yep. And I'm very happy about it. As I said, there's no way I could have done this at the start. It was so tight. It's still tight, but it's actually letting go, and that's the difference. Oh. Okay. I do actually come into the throat sometimes, but only with one, you know, this is something obviously can be very painful if you don't know what you're doing. But there is a band that's coming straight up through here. Okay? So only with empathy and with skill. Again. It's going to come in and get it tightened right in here as well. But that's more coming from the big toe on the inside, so I haven't really done that. So, you know, I might not get a full release here until I've done that, but I feel a huge difference. All these little micro bands or tension are starting to open up, and there's just no way I could have done this. But I'm really, this is where it's really holding on in here.
I can see you going pretty deep.
Green case there. Thanks.
Your finger are very deep in.
Yeah. But not, it's so easy to hit his 10 through here. Same with anybody with a tight jaw. It's a very painful area. So I'm just trying to be very aware of where his 10 is, you know? And he'll show me that if he clenches, then I've gone too hard. Or he grabs my fingers and says 10. That's another way of communicating. That's just those subtle clues, yeah. But it is an area we can easily overwork. So not overwork, but just go too hard in. There's a difference. Again, I'm just going to open his jaw up a little bit just to get, so that I can get in there a little bit more. Is that okay, Dave, or is it just really, oh, I know it's close to your threshold, but is it over? It's good? Okay. So again, just projecting awareness through my finger like a laser beam into this congested area. I'm trying to just open it up. It's doing very well there. So I'm just holding some points while opening this area up, getting in quite deep now, because I just want to see if more can. Good point, yeah. Eased off my pressure about 5 or 10%, but then doing a lot of like shaking of the bands, and I'm crossing over to different ones. Just to again see what else is gonna let go nice and easy. With just that little bit of what we call gentle persuasion. But in one sense I'm being serious, because if we look at the word gentle as being below the person's threshold of where they're gonna tighten up against us. And I'm feeling quite good about all. I'm just going to come back into here and see if I can just get a little bit more out in the next few minutes. Because there's something definitely holding in here.
Are you like flicking the bands, or are you finding the knots?
The knots are on the bands. Yeah. A knot is an energetic blockage on a band.
I feel like you tend to start my treatments with this bit.
I suffered whiplash in a car crash about 5 years ago. It's the second time I've had it in my life, and it was this shoulder that was jammed, and it was here specifically. So you're just finding that one stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. So again, just seeing if I can get a little bit more out before we finish up, and it's letting go, so that's good. Still more, you know. That's why I think, for a lot of people, including Dave here, I would think, most limbs require 2-3 hour treatments minimum. So a good 6 hours to get him, But if he's elderly, it is a lot more, Or super tight, We don't know. I mean, we just do the best. I always say, do the best you can. Don't, if you do the best you can, you've done the best. What else can you do, Don't set yourself, like if you don't release some person in one go, well, highly unlikely you will. So don't set yourself unrealistic goals. If you set yourself doing the best you can and working with them the best, then you've done a good job. If they don't like it, they don't like it, So with tension here, again, we're still thinking a bit more on this thumb. And I'm feeling there's definitely something still holding you there. But again, whether I get it out this time or next time. Can you see how it's all starting to just open up? This whole side is just opening up beautifully. But yeah, still something in there. Nice, eh?